Hey everybody, this is Brendan. So this is part 2 of our 2-part interview with Sasha from Jonquil. We talk about Sasha's commitment of a newborn baby, the early challenges she faced, and how her family continues to support her. She'll be joined by co-hosts Nathan and Jackie.
So Sasha, how do you fund your initial product?
So when we initially started, I was working a lot, let's just say. So I was at uni, and then I was lucky enough to get a scholarship. So that supported me a lot. Just living expenses was great. But to actually buy product, really expensive. And I didn't realize how expensive this stuff is. So basically our products are good quality, right? So we didn't want to skimp on anything. So we had to give them a good amount of money to get started in order to process the cotton, to get the thread going. So in order to process your cotton, you've got fluffy bits, you know, the cotton just as it is, and then you need to change that into your thread that they use to sew. That whole process, to get the highest quality, you need to... It's a really, really long process in order to...
How long does it roughly take, duration-wise?
It would take, I would say, raw cotton without being dyed.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is raw. So when you have raw cotton, it's got a yellow tinge to it. So in order for us to turn that into thread, it would take about 3 months, or maybe a little bit less now. Yeah, depending.
And then international shipping...
You know, it's such a long process. But what we did was to start off, I had savings and I would just chuck in my savings, and then I would have 3 months for me to work my ass off to start saving up again for the next chunk. That's basically how we did it. So we did it in increments. The thing that almost killed us, now this is a challenge for a lot of startups, and I think everyone would understand, is your minimum order quantity. MOQs are just so big because they've got international clients. As in Australia, we've only got 20-something million people here. It's so small compared to, say, America. So their turnover is like so fast. For us, you know, we've got, how many people are in Melbourne? Like, I was just focusing on Melbourne. I had such a small viewpoint at that time. And now I'm thinking, okay, now we can go international because I'm a little bit more confident and comfortable with the turnover that we're receiving. So if we do, I work, I save, and dump money. Work, save, dump money. Work, save. That's how I'm doing it in little increments. It's a long process.
So was the initial product just like a quilt cover, or was it the whole set kind of?
So this is really funny. When I started talking to these guys, we used to do Skype.
Yeah.
Okay? We actually use WhatsApp a lot more. WhatsApp is because it's international, timings are all stuffed up and stuff. So WhatsApp is awesome because you know when they've read your message. And so you're like literally looking.
Tick.
Yeah, the little tick, and you're just like, why
they have
you
that
replied?
on Messenger now, you know. You can
Yeah,
see
exactly.
scenes,
Well, that's true. Yeah. So WhatsApp is they don't use email. They are really unreliable with email. Oh, it's very frustrating because I'm an email person. I'm an email, and now I'm a WhatsApp. WhatsApp is amazing.
You can get this like little software that tells you whether they've opened email. I don't know. I think it's semi-legal though. So
yeah, I don't know. I haven't used that, but I mean, like,
WhatsApp's just more convenient as well. Like right on your phone.
Exactly. Well, when you go to India,
message.
have any of you been to India?
No, I really want to go though.
So when you go to India, they talk like this. They talk to the phone. Okay.
Oh, my mom does that all the time. They love it.
And it sends automatically. So that's how we were communicating. We don't talk like phone. It's like recorded voice messages to each other. Yeah. So it's really great. It's fun. But in order for me to communicate with them, it would be WhatsApp or email. What was the original question? What I was going to... There was a point to my story.
How did you fund your initial... Oh, it was the quilt, sorry.
Yeah. So when I was talking to them, I said, I want to design my own thing. This is what I want to do. And they were like, oh, okay, we don't get orders like this. I said, oh, okay, what do you do? And they said, well, everyone that we work with, they just say the standard single, double, plain, chuck it on the ship and bring it over. That wasn't my thing because anyone and everyone can do that. What about all of the artisans who are actually qualified to do beautiful embroidery? What about them? They don't have any jobs then. Or they have a job, they can just sew, but they're not actually using their creative side, using their talents. And I was like, well, let's use that. And so my grandmother's a really, really good seamstress. And that's where my passion for tapestries and embroideries and all that sort of stuff came from. So I designed a few embroidery designs for the pillowcases and all that sort of stuff. And then I sent it to them, and then they would try and mimic that. And so basically all of the designs that we've got are all by me, and then it's hand-stitched by them over there.
So you mentioned your grandma helps you. Were there any other people that perhaps helped you along the way in creating Jonquil?
Look, my grandmother doesn't help me. She was more of an inspiration. But the people I have to say who helped me a lot, my husband is, I actually get emotional when I think about
partnership.
him. He's just my rock. He's amazing. When you're in a startup, you go through confidence, and then you're like down in the dumps for like 3 days, and then you go through confidence and then down in the dumps, or you get excited. Or he would bring me back and be like, Sash, you should be so proud of your product. Like, this is amazing. You're helping so many other people to continue on their everyday life because of the products that you're designing or the products that you've ordered from them. Like, they're actually, you're sustaining so many other communities. You should be happy about that. And when you think of it that way, that's exciting. So I would say my partner is the person. The other person I think is amazing, or actually two people, my brother and my mum. My brother's also in business. He does his own thing. He designs, that's off topic, but he designs like homemaker things like blenders and cake mixers. But he designs the blades himself, and he makes sure that it's amazing, the stuff that he makes. Anyway, that's off topic. But he's a wealth of knowledge because he's made so many failed attempts to things, and then he'll say, don't do that, that didn't work for me, why don't you try this? And mum, she's just a support of, don't worry, everything's going to be fine, typical mum thing. So it's my partner, my brother, and my mum. They're the three main people.
It's a real family effort.
Family effort.
Yeah. That's awesome, having like a supportive group that pushes you.
Yeah, they're really, really
good. So what were some of the, you talked about the order number as being a challenge.
Yeah.
What were some other challenges that you faced in the early stages?
Okay. Oh, there's so many. Okay, so the first one is minimum order quantity. Okay, so MOQs were really, really difficult to meet, which is why you'll see a lot of startups have pre-orders. Oh, pre-order, because they need the money because their order's so large, they need to get rid of stock quickly, and they need to make that down payment. So pre-orders are really great for that. Anyway, so that's one of the challenges I faced. Another personal challenge of mine of starting up this business was the fact that there were 3 major hurdles in a span of 6 weeks. So the first thing was I had started my PhD in 2013. I needed to get that done. Like, it was going to drag on. I wanted to finish it. It was something, and it is still something I'm very passionate about. So when I start something, I have to finish it. But I was also pregnant, and I needed to start Jonquil. So there were the 3 things that I needed to do. I submitted my PhD. 2 days later, I had my baby.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then I launched Jonquil 3.5 to 4 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So while I was having my baby, I had email notifications lined up so that it would automatic send out so that I didn't have to worry about it before, if you know what I mean. Like, so I didn't have to worry about sending it at the particular time. It was all automated. That is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, having to launch two babies, my baby and Jonquil.
Yeah.
Like, it was really, really difficult. I don't think I would, if I had my time again, I don't think I would have done that. I think I couldn't delay the baby, so I delayed the launch of Jonquil so I could give it my 110%. You can't give 110% when you've got a newborn.
Yeah.
And first time mum, I have no idea what I'm doing. Both things. I had no idea what I was doing. It's the first time I was doing it. So major challenge. And if any other females are in the same position, it's okay to hold off and delay your launch. Even if it's a soft launch, just delay it because you don't want to regret it. And that's one thing. I regret launching too quickly. I think I should have slowed down, taken my time, had the baby, enjoyed her, and then when I was ready, launched properly. And that's
is that just more, reaching the right customers, putting the right effort, momentum in? Or
yes, that's right, momentum. Like, once you start, you need to keep going. You can't just start and then be like, okay, now started, live, click live. It doesn't work like that. And that was one of the things, momentum, that's a perfect word. I couldn't kick it into gear because I was preoccupied with this new thing in my life. You know, she's amazing. I love her so much. I can't devote all my time to Jonquil while I've got a newborn screaming, you know. So that's, yeah, thinking back, it's a major challenge. I should have delayed. Yeah. Biggest piece of advice for any other female starting.
Yeah. Delay the second baby.
Yeah, delay the second baby.
So from what we gather from looking at your website,
Yep.
You're selling your products just via e-commerce,
Yep.
so
Yep.
online. I mean, do you intend to kind of reach out to distributors here, like, you know, big stores?
We've been approached by a number of people. Look, I'm open to it if that means that we can communicate the message better. But we are...
That would be an issue.
Yes. Well, put it this way. People don't know we exist, right? 1. 2, when they do find out we exist, how do they feel the product? When you buy bedding, this is just bedding, okay? Like, it could be for anything. It could be towels. It could be, I don't know, tablecloths, whatever it is, pajamas, clothes. How do they know that your product is for them? When they feel it, is it luxurious? Is it soft? All of these things that they want. I'm like that. I wouldn't go off and buy an expensive set unless I knew the company, unless I knew that what I was receiving was great. So in turn, like I was saying, communicating to our community, it's really, really difficult to get them to understand that yes, it is high end, and yes, it's fair trade, and yes, it's organic. So in order for us to get the product out there, I'm more than happy to offer consignment to shops, like brick and mortar shops. Distributors being online distributing, sure, no worries. But I take every order personally. So, for example, an order comes through, I'll make sure that order has been checked by me. Quality, how it's been packaged. I'll make sure that the person that's made that package, because I get told who's actually made that particular item, whether that person is still employed, what's happened to that person. I package the products myself, so on and so forth. When turnover, so we're heading into the Christmas period, the turnover is going to be insane. We're just churning through. So I don't want people to, I want people to understand that just because they're buying online doesn't mean that the product is lesser value. It's really, really good quality stuff. My profit margins are really small. That's just the way it is. But being an online platform, we don't have to just target Australia. We can now do international. So I had this narrow mindset before of Melbourne. Then I thought, oh, Australia. But now I'm thinking, hang on a second. There are so many other countries that would love fair trade organic stuff that they're just not exposed to yet. So with social media and online marketing, a lot of people are getting to know Jonquil and what we stand for and the quality of our products.
So what do you see Jonquil becoming, and what motivates you to continue to work on this?
Okay, so in my mind, right now we're just doing bedding, but I'd like to expand in other homewares, whether it be towels or whatever. Just being a home brand, let's say, a homewares brand, sorry. That's one thing. But in terms of going forward, I'd still like to be online. Definitely an e-commerce platform. That would be really important. Just removing that middleman to keep costs low. And that way we churn through. Our turnover is, much faster. The other thing that's really important is that we need to be with the times. So a lot of people, once they respect your brand, okay, so for example, Sheridan, amazing, amazing brand. They've branded themselves so well that I would feel comfortable, anyone would feel comfortable to buy Sheridan online. They don't need to feel it anymore because they know.
My mom's obsessed with Sheridan.
I was obsessed with Sheridan too. Loved it. You can buy Sheridan online and you know that you're getting good quality. What? Sheridan?
Sheridan.
Oh my God.
I don't know. My mom's so into this stuff, so she's always telling me about it. So
what's interesting though is that Sheridan used to be made in Australia, and then they got everything made in China. So now it's made in China. It's not made in Australia anymore. Anyway, sad point. But you know that you're buying stuff online from Sheridan, and you know you're going to get a good quality product. That's what I want to be. But you're buying your stuff online. We're a good quality product, but we're also organic and fair trade. So we'll always continue that whole process, that supply chain, being fair and pure. The other thing is that what I would love is to be a place where we sweat the small stuff and people know that they can come to Jonquil and know that their products are completely free of harm to people, environment, or anything like that, right? So there's a growing community of saying, okay, I want something that's really good quality. I want something for my home. It needs to be clean. It needs to be pure. I don't want to have any negative effects on so-and-so. Go to Jonquil. You just know that you're going to get that product.
So just the final question. I can tell that you, like perhaps many other startup founders, take this project or take Jonquil incredibly personally.
Yeah, it's a very personal journey.
It doesn't just reflect the time and effort you've put in,
yeah,
but also your values and the fact that your family is involved in it.
Yeah.
How do you manage emotionally, the failures or the challenges you encounter when it is so personal?
You do take everything that happens, you take personally. I don't think anyone could change that. I don't think... Yes, okay, it's easy to say, step aside, it's okay, it's a business. But no, it's not just a business. It's a project that I've worked really, really hard on. It reflects the values that I have. And in order for me to get through it, you need that support network. So my husband he's a really positive person. And people could say that people say I'm negative, but I'm more of a realist, So
You seem like a positive person to me, right? You
seem
pretty positive.
I can be. Yeah, it's really hard. It's a roller coaster. That's what it is. It's a roller coaster. You go up and down, up and down, up and down. But when you get feedback, when you get repeat customers, when people call you out of the blue and say, "Hey, can I please use your bed linen for this photo shoot?" Like, yeah, of course you can. Like, it's such that stuff is what keeps me going. Knowing that my product is actually really... We have not had one return.
Oh, that's great.
Except for that lady that ordered the wrong thing. But that's beside the point. We haven't had one return. So that goes to show you that the quality is there. And the fact that we've got repeat customers, like all of that's positive for me. That's what keeps me going.
That's awesome. So I think that's all we have time for today, Sasha. Thanks for coming on.
It's great to have you on.
Thank you very much.
That concludes our interview with Sasha from Jonquil. You can find Jonquil at jonquil.com.au. JONQUIL. For more information on Australian Incupod, visit australianincupod.com. Make sure to leave us a review and follow our SoundCloud, iTunes, as well as Instagram to stay updated for next week's interview.